Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have Lightspeed join us today to have a super webinar on how to drive growth in the bike store with technology. Lightspeed is something many of our retail members use, and we wanted to partner with Lightspeed and the team to deliver a webinar to help you maximize the technology that is in front of you and make sure that any questions you have are answered. So we're going to go through a great presentation and save questions to the end. And thank you for joining us. I'll turn it over to the team at Lightspeed now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So, hi, everyone. As mentioned, today we're going to be talking about how to drive growth in your bike store with technology. So before we dive into this exciting topic, I do just want to spend a bit of time to remind everyone of our mission as a company. Here at Lightspeed, our mission is to bring cities and communities to life by empowering independent business. We want to see cities thriving, and we feel that local businesses are an absolutely essential part of this. We want to be able to provide these businesses with the tools they need to compete with the big box retailers and thrive in this new retail landscape. Now that you've heard our mission, let's just spend a quick minute highlighting who we are as a company. Lightspeed is an all-in-one technology company solution that empowers independent retailers and restaurants to sell across channels, manage operations, engage with consumers, accept payments, and grow their business. From inventory management to in-depth reporting, Lightspeed's POS solution helps store owners run their entire business. So, as we're all well aware, consumer shopping habits have drastically changed over the past years. And just like other industries, bike retailers must learn to embrace technology to adapt to these new behaviors. It can certainly seem daunting, but that's why we're here to show you the benefits and discuss how the right tech can help you grow your business. So to that end, here's an agenda of what we'll be covering today. To start, we'll hone in on how you can increase brand loyalty. Next, we'll discuss how to optimize communication so you can reach your customers more effectively. From there, we'll highlight how you can stock yourselves smarter by using data. Then we'll take a look at how you can engage your customers with mobility. And finally, we'll cover how you can expand your reach beyond the physical store by taking your business online. Now, before we get too far ahead, I'd like to just spend a quick minute to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Nixon, and I'm a sales engineer here at Lightspeed. I've been with the company for just under 6 years, and I'd worked as part of our support team before moving over to the sales engineering side. I'm also an active cyclist and have spent a lot of time at a number of local bike shops here in Montreal who all use our software, so I'm more than familiar with the landscape in the world that you guys are all operating in. So let's get started. As mentioned, the first thing we'll be highlighting today is how we can use technology to increase brand loyalty. By now, it should be obvious that building brand loyalty is a key component of a thriving and sustainable business. I think this quote from InMoment really drives that fact home. 77% of consumers, including 60% of millennials, have had relationships with specific brands for more than 10 years. So clearly, these brands are doing something right if they're able to keep these customers coming back again and again for over a decade. Now, when we talk about loyalty, this really covers a lot of different areas. First off, let's talk about how customer loyalty can help increase your return on investment, or ROI. I'm sure it won't surprise you all to hear that the hardest thing to do is to get a brand new customer to come in and spend money with the business. If we're to put some actual metrics behind this, acquiring a customer can cost up to 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. So clearly, if there's a way that we can keep these people coming back and shopping again, this is going to be far more valuable than constantly trying to reach out and gain new customers. On top of that, the success rate of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the success rate of selling to a new customer is only 5 to 20%. Those are pretty huge differences, and I think that really helps to show how a loyal customer is invaluable to a business. Now, once you've got that loyal customer, it's then a question of figuring out how to maximize the value that they actually bring to the business. As you've already mentioned, the loyal customers are the ones who are really going to be driving sales to your business. In terms of numbers, loyal customers spend 67% more than new ones. This increase comes from those repeat purchases, but it also includes larger transactions and frequent upsells. This last part is really key because these loyal customers are the ones who will have spent more time interacting with your staff and salespeople, and as such, they're much more likely to take their advice on any add-ons or upgrades. Beyond helping to bring in more revenue, building loyal customers also helps to greatly boost customer satisfaction. Now, this one probably seems obvious, but it's absolutely worth reiterating. When shoppers have a great experience, they tell their friends, their colleagues, and family members about this. That customer's network then becomes a potential business opportunity for you, as people are 4 times more likely to buy when referred by a friend. This referral is so much more valuable than pretty much any other form of marketing your business can do. So as always, it's important to focus on delighting your clientele at every turn in order to try and turn them into loyal customers. So we've been discussing why loyal customers are so valuable, but we need to decide how you're actually going to implement a system that will reward these loyal customers and keep them coming back. When doing this, it's important to keep your objectives in mind, as this will really help personalize the loyalty program that you implement. Are you trying to increase your recurring customer base? Are you looking to encourage those existing loyal customers to spend more? Or are you just trying to solidify the customer experience? To that end, our loyalty program that's available as a component of a retail POS offers a wide variety of options. At its core is the concept of points per dollar spent. So with this, customers earn points for every purchase that they make in store and online, and can then redeem these points for rewards. You have full control over how many points each reward costs and what reward it is you choose to offer. The rewards themselves can be as simple as a dollar value discount on the next transaction, maybe $5, $10, $25 off, depending how many points they're spending. It could be a specific free item, whether that's a free service, maybe a free tune-up, or whether it's a free inner tube, whatever specific thing it is you have to offer. Or it can be as broad a promotion as a percentage discount off a whole category of products. So maybe for a large number of points, they could get 5% off accessories or 10% off a helmet, whatever it is you choose. You can also choose if customers earn points for all their purchases, or if you want to exclude things like services or repairs, or maybe even some of your higher ticket items from being eligible for points. If you want to further incentivize higher spend by this loyalty program, you can choose to create a special VIP tier where customers who spend above a set amount get a point multiplier on future purchases, helping them to earn the rewards faster. All of these help just drive increased transaction value and really make customers feel like they're getting something out of that program and getting something out of being a customer at your business. Our loyalty system also extends far beyond a simple point reward setup, and it really allows you to automate certain interactions with your customers. Lightspeed Loyalty can automatically message customers with a reward they haven't shopped in the store for a set period of time. Again, this reward doesn't need to be anything large. It could be something quite simple, just a nice little thing to push out to them so they come back into the door. We can also send customers a special reward on their birthday or on the anniversary of them joining your loyalty program. These extra touch points really just help establish that relationship, makes them feel like they're part of that special club, and it just helps build that brand loyalty towards your business. On top of all this, our loyalty program also offers a marketing tool that you can use to reach out and engage your customers. Marketing emails can be built out and sent to targeted groups of customers or to the entire loyalty customer base. When you're building these emails, you can use a simple text format, or you can build a nice branded template that has your own logo, highlights any photos of maybe new products or in-store events, whatever it is you want to show off. One can even link specific rewards to these emails to offer extra value to these customers. For things that require customers' immediate attention, maybe like a flash sale or some sort of pop-up, you can send out SMS text marketing via Lightspeed Loyalty. No matter what approach or objective you're hoping to achieve by implementing a loyalty program, Lightspeed has the tools that you need to make it a successful one. So next, we'll be covering how to optimize the ways in which you're communicating with your customers. These days, customers are inundated with messaging, whether it's newsletter emails, push notifications from apps, or texts, either from friends, family, or spam texts, unfortunately. It's important to consider how best to cut through that noise and communicate with your customer base effectively. When it comes to communicating with your customers, there's three main areas that are worth focusing on. The first is the standard at this point for customer communication, and that's emails. Now, I'm sure all of our inboxes are overrun at this point, but there's still some key areas where emails are definitely the best way to reach out to your customers. The first of these is promotions. Specifically, if there's a sale that's happening, whether it's in-store or online, and it's running for a period of more than 24 hours, an email is a great way to update customers on this. Email works super well for this because, again, you can highlight those branded images, you can display links that take people to the shop so they can easily access that right from their inbox. The same is true about new items or collections that you've received in store for those exact same reasons. Lastly, sending receipts via email is a great way to, it's a great step to take towards going paperless. And it gives your customers an easy option to keep track of any previous purchases because all they need to do is search within their inbox for your store's name and they can pull up that receipt. If there's ever an issue with an exchange or a warranty, they've got that tracked. Specifically, the emailing of receipts is a standard feature within our retail POS. And as I had already mentioned, our loyalty platform offers a well-branded email marketing component to allow you to stay in touch with your customer base. Next up, we've got SMS text messaging, and this is definitely the way to go for any communication that needs to get a customer's attention right away. If you're shipping something to a customer and there's a set time window that they need to be home to receive that package, SMS is absolutely the way to go. Like we all know, email inbox is full. It's not the first place that you're going to go check. So if you missed that email and you should have been there half an hour ago, that's not going to be great. Text message, it's direct. That's what people are going to pull up first and see. So again, whenever there's that urgency required, text is the method that we should be looking at. Also, if there's any type of special offer or limited promotion, text is a great way to reach out to that customer base and really create that sense of urgency that can lead to higher conversion. In terms of texting, we do have the option to send out those SMS messages via our loyalty program, but there is also a partner that we work with called ECommerce, who has a tool built out that allows you to actually text back and forth with your customers when you're creating work orders for any services or repairs. So lots of great options to work with that all connect with our point of sale. And lastly, we have chatbots. These are really going to be used online. It's not something we can rely on yet for the in-store experience, but they're a great tool to help cut down on some of the time spent fielding customer requests via your website. Chatbots can be programmed to cover your basic FAQs. So you can avoid sending the same email responses over and over again to your customers. Maybe you just didn't read the fine print in terms of hours of operation, products that are available, whatever it might be. Using our e-com platform, there's a few different apps available that allow you to easily add a chatbot to your website. So it's certainly not something you need to code yourself. We've got all these apps available right from our online platform. Next, we're going to be talking about how you can use data to make smarter decisions when stocking your stores. As we all know, supply chain delays have thrown everything for a loop over the last couple of years. So it's worth using every tool at your disposal to make sure that you're ordering the right stock at the right time. This quote here, I think, really sums this up well. Data-driven decision-making is key to increasing profits at your bike shop. When we say data-driven, this means whether you're placing an order for new stock, you should have been able to quickly and accurately tell when you last ordered that product, how long it took to sell, and what your profits and margins were. If you can't access this data, you're essentially flying blind, and you're missing out on huge opportunities, and you're much more likely to order in stock that you either didn't need, or stock that won't arrive, or stock that's costing you more money than it might have if you ordered it at another time or from another vendor. So data, clearly very valuable. In terms of the actual data that you should be focusing on, this falls into three main buckets. Customer data is the first one. We want to learn what products are selling the most quickly in store and online. We want to understand who are most valuable and hopefully ensure that these customers are enrolled in your loyalty program. And we also want to know what products are commonly being purchased together. This last piece is super important because it can be used to determine what items you're actually stocking together in that physical store. So whether you're laying out, helmets next to whatever else it might be, can make some of those actual layout decisions based on what's selling well. Or if we're talking about the web side of things, if we know which products are selling well together, we can list those products as a recommended item so that when you land on that page, it shows you that next product and it helps drive those upsells and brings in more revenue overall. After customer data, we've got vendor data. And here we want to be able to understand what trends are developing over time and which vendors are best suited to address these. To that end, it's key to know what new products are available and what pricing or cost changes might be coming down the line. Also, if you have customers ordering items from you, it's important to be able to determine which vendor is capable of fulfilling this order and how long of a lead time you'll be looking at. The lead time, obviously nowadays, is especially important, so you can set those proper expectations with your customer when the order is first placed, rather than having somebody come in, placing an order with the assumption that it might be there within a week or two, only to find out down the line that it's going to take much longer. If we can determine this right up front, it's just going to create that better customer experience overall and build more trust in the business. And last up, we have employee data. Now, obviously your business is nothing without your customers, but the same thing can be said of your employees. So it's incredibly useful to be able to get detailed information on how much value they're bringing to the business. You'll want to be able to identify which employees are the best at upsells, which employees are ringing in the highest value transactions. Having info on which employees are capturing specific customer data is also handy, as you can choose to incentivize or reward certain behavior to try and encourage, say, more emails to be entered into the POS when they're selling. So then once you've got those emails, we can build out that list, further market to these customers, and it all sort of wraps into each other. Now, the tool that we here at Lightspeed offer that's best suited to dig into this data is called Lightspeed Analytics. This add-on recently got a facelift, and it's now easier than ever to perform detailed analyses of your business data. Using Lightspeed Analytics, you can filter, customize, and configure reports to focus on data that's most important to you. Rather than working with a set of pre-built reports, you've got full control over how you're viewing this data. Do you want to see your sales performance year over year, or maybe month to month? Do you want to see which items haven't sold over a period of time, or which items are low in stock? All this data can easily be pulled across a number of different reports that you're in full control of. Once you've found the data set that you want to hone in on, you can always save this as a custom report so that you can easily access it down the line. But Lightspeed Analytics even takes this a step further by letting you automatically send out reports via email to key stakeholders. So let's say you have a vendor who likes to see monthly or quarterly sales totals. What we can do with analytics is we can build out that report that's filtered specifically to view the sales of that vendor's item. And then we can just have it emailed out to them on a set schedule. So no more time spent, building out that report, attaching your PDF to the email or your CSV file and sending it out. You essentially set it and forget it, you're ready to go. Same thing could be true if you have an inventory manager who likes to see at the end of the week what items were the top sellers and which ones have just sold out. Can also schedule that. So again, all of this just helps you save time, get back some of those precious hours in the day so you can focus on other tasks. Lastly, using analytics, you can choose how you'd like to visualize your data. Rows upon rows of numbers in a spreadsheet can certainly be a bit daunting to look at. So instead, you can choose to have your data displayed in a variety of different chart and graph formats. These graphs would be included on any of those emails that are sent out from analytics so that everyone can get a clear picture of the information being presented. And for those who do prefer to work with a spreadsheet file, you can download the results of any of these reports in CSV, XLSX, or a number of other different file formats if you want to spend your time playing around in Excel, if that's what you're more comfortable with. All of that possible using this platform. So next, we're going to discuss how you can engage your customers with mobility. Highlighting the value of a mobile solution, 80% of retailers surveyed that had implemented a mobile POS in their stores found that it increased their sales. So I'd say this is a pretty impressive number to start, but let's take a look at why we would actually want to go mobile. So the first key thing that a mobile POS allows you to do is engage your customers right on the floor. This breaks down some of the traditional retail boundaries where there's always a cash register or desk separating the customers from the employees. You can now have your sales staff roaming around the shop and chatting with customers right next to your product. With a mobile POS, you can easily look up what items are or are not currently in stock without needing to leave the customer side. So no more, let me run to the back, check and see if it's in stock. I'm still here chatting with you by my side. I can just pull this up on my iPad, see if it's in stock or not, and then take the conversation from there. And let's say we don't have the item in stock. You can even start a special order right there from the sales floor so we can get that sales process started, keep that customer interested and keep them engaged. Along with this ease of it interacting with customers comes the ability to take payments anywhere. I'm sure almost everyone here today has had an experience before where they've been in a new store with an item in hand, wandering around, trying to figure out where you have to go to pay. Sometimes, this might only take an extra minute, but anytime that your customer is waiting is a chance for them to walk out. With a mobile POS, you can allow your staff to take payments wherever and send your customer their receipt via email and they're on their way. By allowing your staff to take these payments on the floor, you're also speeding up your transaction time. If there's any sort of rush period, you can hand out extra terminals to your staff, have them go out and bust up a potential line by taking those payments on the floor. And this time saved helps to drastically improve the customer experience and will help boost your sales too. Because like I said, I've got my socks in hand. I can't figure out where to pay. I might just go walk out the door if I think it's going to take too long. If you can take my payment, right there on the floor without requiring me to line up, I've got my bill sent directly to my inbox and I'm out the door and I'm happy. So the final area that we're going to highlight today is how to expand your business's reach by getting online. In this day and age, the internet plays an absolutely vital role in our day-to-day life. So if you have a limited internet presence, you're potentially missing out on a huge range of customers. Beyond just shopping online, people are now relying on their phones to check store hours, directions, wait times, contact information, and increasingly product availability. As we all know, it's gotten much harder to keep bikes in stock over the last couple of years. So if you're able to show your customers what you currently have available in the store, this is a great way to bring people in where your staff can then engage with them using that mobile point of sale solution. So it should be obvious that getting your business online is important, but it's really valuable to think about what shoppers are actually looking for when they search online before shopping. The first thing that they're generally looking for is something to inspire their purchase. Whether this is a wide selection of products listed on your site, whether it's detailed photos or maybe in-depth descriptions of the items that you stock, customers want to see something that catches their eye. With Lightspeed Ecom, you can sync all of the products that you have created in POS onto the web so customers can browse your stock right via that website. You can add multiple photos to every item and list extensive descriptions, or even link to videos or charts that might help to highlight what makes each item that you sell special. Once they've found an item they're interested in, especially if it's a bicycle, they're likely going to want to come and see this in person at the store. To make their lives easier, they'll likely want help planning a trip to your shop. This can be done by prominently listing your address or contact details somewhere on the site, or you can take it one step further and embed a Google Maps link to your store. All this can easily be accomplished using our approachable and versatile web editor with Lightspeed Ecom. Another thing shoppers look for when browsing online is a way to help narrow down their options. A great way to do this is to allow customers to easily compare multiple items on your site to view their specifications side by side. With Lightspeed Ecom, this is a default functionality of a number of our themes, and it makes it easier, particularly when shopping for bikes, to see what each different model offers. If I know I'm looking for a specific group set, if I'm looking for something with carbon wheels, I want to be able to pull up the specs for all of those different models, see it side by side, and then from there, dive deeper into that product and get the full picture. So like I mentioned, super easy to do with our online platform and just makes for a really nice shopping experience. So now we've seen what customers are looking for when they shop online, but let's just reiterate why it's necessary to incorporate an e-commerce strategy into your business. First things first, omni-channel retailers outperformed single-channel sellers in 2021 across the board. And this is really because e-commerce is your 24/7 employee. I'm sure you all work very hard, but nobody's brick and mortar store is running at all hours of the day and night. Your website, on the other hand, doesn't take any breaks, so your customers can browse and shop whenever they want. Beyond just selling your products, it directs people to your brick and mortar store by displaying the items that you stock and the quantities that are currently available. Your brand is really the heart of the store, and it's easy to highlight this brand with a beautifully designed website. You can use social media to promote your business across different channels, and then integrate this back to your website so that your page acts as a real hub for your customers. And finally, consumers are looking for a company to trust. A business that doesn't have a web presence at all is automatically less trustworthy than one that does. Beyond just highlighting the basic info, you can take it to the next level and really set yourselves up as the experts in your space. With Lightspeed Ecom, you can easily create blog posts, embed videos that highlight new products or tutorials on how to install or repair specific components, maybe. All of these are great tools to get customers visiting your site more regularly, regardless of whether or not they're planning to place an order. And once they're on that page, if they see something they like, again, they can order it right from there, and you've already got them. So to bring everything back to our original goal of highlighting how we can use technology to drive growth in your bike store, let's summarize the 5 main areas. First up was loyalty. Using an omni-channel loyalty program allows for customers to be in control of their shopping experience and to receive personalized promotions that are much more likely to turn a one-time customer into a regular customer. Communication through multiple formats and touch points ensure that customers see value in your brand and that they're kept up to date about the latest goings on, both in-store and online. Mobility allows your business to go wherever you go and meet your customers where they are for an in-person experience beyond the brick and mortar store. You can engage your customers on the sales floor, take payments on the go, all of which helps elevate the level of service your business can offer. Data leads to strategic decisions based on your own store's information, so you can optimize ROI and sales performance. Whether this is about pulling up-to-date sales numbers on the go or performing deep trend analysis with our analytics platform, Lightspeed has the tools to help you here. And finally, an online presence increases foot traffic and reinforces your brand and expertise in the virtual space. Your website should really be the first place that your customers land when they want to see what you sell or what services you offer, or if there's any sort of in-store events coming up. All this can easily be configured via your e-com platform. So that really wraps things up. Thanks to everyone for attending today's session. And we do have time for a quick Q&A. So I think I just saw something in the chat. So the question there is, what are the specifics for implementing mobile POS on the sales floor? So our point of sale solution, if we're talking mobile, we're really iPad based. So as long as you have that solid Wi-Fi connection in your store, you can have multiple staff with those iPads out there on the floor. We also have mobile payment terminals that would connect over Wi-Fi as well. So if you're trying to use that to process that full transaction, you've got your iPad, your payment terminal, and as long as that Wi-Fi connection allows them all to speak back together, you can have people ring up their sales, you can have people look up products that are in stock, you can have people run reports right from that iPad. It gives them the full functionality of a point of sale solution from that mobile tablet. Can you accept payment over SMS or just in store? So natively, we do not have a SMS functionality for payment processing, but that integration that I did mention with Ikiono does give that functionality. So it's a really cool tool that they enable where you can send out essentially a quote to a customer, and it will include a payment link. And when they pop open that payment link, it would allow them to pay for their order directly via their phone or whatever device it is they open up that link from. So the question here about an iPad. So iPad would be needed for the point of sale side of things. The app that we have is iPad specific, but if I just have my iPhone and I want to, maybe run a quick report or just log in and pull up some information, I can do that from the web browser, but specifically it's the payment terminals that we don't have paired to the iPad. So again, for that full sort of mobile point of sale experience, we'd be iPad based for now, but you certainly can access some of the info from just the browser on your phone. Any other questions? Let me just take a look and see if there's anything in the Q&A side. Is analytics included in every Lightspeed package? So it is included in some of our higher kind of starter packages where it's just bundled into that existing price. But you can add analytics on no matter what your base package is. So it all depends. Our sales team would certainly be happy to put together a quote, let you know what pricing would look like. We're always there to come up with the best solution that'll work well for our merchants. If you want to put a picture of a customer's bike on their work order, what's the best procedure for doing that? There's actually a really great solution or a really great use for that iPad. And if we have it on the sales floor, we can automatically tie, or well, not automatically, you can link those photos directly to a work order. So what people commonly do, if I'm coming in, bringing in my bike for repair, you can bring that iPad, snap a photo of it when I drop it off. And this sort of serves two purposes. A, it helps you identify which work order corresponds with which bike, and B, it can really kind of help cover your bases if let's say a customer, I'm coming in just to get a tube replaced on my bike, and there's some scratches on the frame or whatever it might be. You can specifically take a photo of the condition of the bike that it was in when it was dropped off, then maybe even just a second photo after that repair or job has been done. So that way you're really kind of covering your bases, and you can't worry about customers ever claiming that a damage happened while it was with you, because you've got it documented from when it was dropped off. Cool. Well, if that wraps up the questions, oh, I think I just saw one pop up. How do you handle work orders where you're adding parts and accessories onto a bike or sell a bike that's a rental? So work orders are really quite versatile in terms of Lightspeed Retail. It allows you to add both inventoried items. It will also allow you to add parts. If there's maybe parts that need to be special ordered, we can create those special orders directly from from the work order, which would then tie back into a purchase order. So you've got sort of full transparency across the whole process. And in terms of bike rentals, there's a few different ways of handling that. But generally, if that's kind of a big part of the business, there's two different pieces of software that we work with that, that's kind of their bread and butter. One is called Bike Rental Manager, which, as the name suggests, handles bike rentals. There's another company that we work with called Booksy, who also does a really nice sort of rental module. They do also have the ability to accept those bookings online. So again, if we're tying it back to that website, you can have that rentals page where they can see the full list of bikes that you have available, view a schedule, book it online, and that booking sale will push back into the POS. So everything's still managed from within Lightspeed Retail. Perfect. Well, I think that wraps up the questions that we had for today. So again, thanks so much to everyone for coming out. It was a pleasure chatting with you all.
Thank you, Cameron. We really appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, feel free to email them if you're watching the recording to info@nbda.com, and we'll make sure to get those questions answered for you. And then any other follow-up you need, info@nbda.com. We're happy to help you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.